Hello, listening audience, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am Whirlwind Gale. I am one of your players for today, and I am joined by the lovely, charming, darling, absolutely amazing, funny, friendly. I'm going to keep going until you stop me. Talented,
No, just keep
creative,
going. The
delightful, delightful. Shoot, I'm running
longer
out of
you go, the
good
more effective
adjectives.
my Uno reverse card is.
Bitch, I have the rainbow reverse card. I can win.
I will find my own. Anyway, hello, dear audience. I am noodle or pasta or udon or whichever variation thereof y'all are feeling like today. And I am very excited to have this meeting happen. It will totally be nothing but shenanigans, honestly.
We are
Juby
here.
likes to steal.
We are here to have a good time. There is no plot.
No, there is none. We're not letting the plot in here. It's barred.
No plot, only stupidity.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Only bird things. Just birds.
Only birds being dumbasses towards each other.
Yep.
All right.
So,
So,
yeah.
where is bird idiot number 1?
Bird idiot number one is doing something very smart because he's the he's a genius. No, he's not. Jubilee has the delightful trope of whenever he's, near trains or train tracks, plot shit happens to him. And of course, he thinks, surely not this time. This time it won't. It's been a trope every other time. There's going to be nothing because, since Halloween, there was a very fun train that he went on, except for one cart. That car, not so much fun, but everything else was fun. Um, and he may have heard rumors or, gotten it confirmed somewhere that the Ember Express, supposedly, for every other part of the year, is under HalloweenTown.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he knows HalloweenTown might be, probably, not the most welcoming place to him because, he causes trouble. But this time, the curiosity is enough to be like, well, probably. It's worth it. The trouble's worth it. So he's just gonna follow those train tracks from the station until, he gets to Halloween Town and probably can find the train. Maybe. It's fine. He's just been walking along those.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, fun. So, Jubilee, you've been walking along a set of train tracks for a while.
Yeah,
Like, how long do you think you've been walking?
he left in the morning and it's probably mid to late afternoon.
All
He's
right.
been at this a little bit.
It has been a good bit. You are walking. The area around you has given way from one kind of forest to another. You started in a sort of pine forest, but now the trees around you have leaves, which is unusual. Given that
There's
it is, late autumn, midwinter ish.
hmm Yeah, yep. There's leaves. He's he takes a look at this, is a bit confused, wondering why. Oh, do you go investigate? I need to actually roll a D2. Or are you too fixated on trying to find train? Yeah, he goes and looks. He is not so consumed by finding train that this weirdness is going unnoticed.
Yeah. So you walk up to these trees, and they are unseasonably lush for certain. They're starting to turn. The leaves are starting to turn yellow, but none of them have turned red or brown, and certainly none of them have fallen yet.
Mhm.
Why don't you roll me an investigation?
Oh boy, because he's very good at that. He is so smart. He is the smartest. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay. Um, Juvie, I needed you to see this. This was how I was gonna get you to where you need to go.
hmm
Can you re-roll that?
Yeah.
Just 'cause we want this FPS to actually happen.
Yeah, it's fine. It might just take him a little bit. Yeah, he doesn't notice at first, but that's a 14. That's a little better.
Yeah, okay. So you're like looking up at one of these trees, and then sort of I'll spin it this way. The reason you don't notice at first is because it's a couple trees away from you, but then a flash of color catches your eye. Because, like I
Mhm.
said, most of these trees, the leaves are turning yellow. Not this one. Or this thing is not yellow. Uh,
Hmm.
Up in the branches of one of these trees is a bright green ribbon.
Hmm. All right. Well, for one, that's weird. And the trees are weird. And Juby takes a few steps towards it, thinks, sighs to himself, and just, oh, heck, it's probably plot shit. Ugh, fine. And resigns himself to, he has probably walked into something. Damn it, the train got him again. Okay.
And the train wasn't even here this
The
time.
train wasn't even there. It's fine. It's fine. He's gonna go see that ribbon, and then next to that tree, he'll look and see if maybe there's another ribbon in a different tree or something similar.
All right. Roll perception this time. Since you're
hmm
just kind of you're not trying to specifically look, you're trying to just see some shit.
hmm That's a
20.
little better. That's a dirty 20. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. So you notice a couple things with that. You walk over to this tree, and while you have been investigating just why these trees are so weird, because, they're yellow, they're not supposed to be yellow. They're supposed to be, you know, red, brown, or naked.
Yep.
Um, you've been kind of trudging through some underbrush, some overgrowth, because this seems like, aside from the train tracks, this is not a very trafficked area.
hmm
But your feet hit ground that is just dirt. Um, and Jubilee, you're a traveler, right?
hmm
You've got some experience then with what it looks like when a path is made not intentionally, but just because so many people have wandered it, or just because
hmm
people will decide, you know what, I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
familiar with the concept of a desire trail, and that's what this is there is a sort of path through the woods that's kind of windy and narrow, but it has been beaten down by someone or something walking this way a lot. Um,
hmm
and if you look up in the trees, there are more of those green ribbons seemingly leading along this trail.
hmm That's interesting. Surely. Yeah. Okay. That's definitely something that he's found. And he's a little suspicious of this because, of course, he is. Oh, darling. But this is a path. And so he is going to cautiously uh have his hand on the handle of his sword and follow the path, trying to probably be a little bit more sneaky as he goes along, just trying to not make it obvious that he's here.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to go find out what is at the end of this.
Okay. If you're trying to be sneaky, roll stealth.
This is one of the things he's good at. Welcome to bullshit modifiers.
Holy
to
Shit.
22. That's a plus 12 for our audience. Yeah, sneaky boy is sneaky.
Yeah, okay. You managed to, like, get along this path without, like, even leaf crunching under your feet. Like, you managed to pass through these woods without even disturbing so much as a passing rabbit.
He's used to being very quiet, wanting to be in the woods. He normally he'll like to hang out up in a tree when, he's writing his music. It's good ambiance, good thinking, atmosphere and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he is very used to having to go unnoticed in places.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go with your earlier perception roll
Mhm.
for this. Hey, Jubilee, as you are wandering down this path, a semi familiar smell reaches your nose. Um, a smell you are familiar with because of the kind of flowers that are associated with your patron deity. Jubilee, you can smell poppy flowers.
Hmm. Well, he's instantly going there because Bird Boy is predictable. And even if, there might be danger, well, uh, that's his patron stuff. And worst case, he might be able to get some of those and just, keep them with him to put on his little shelf that he's got and be like, hey, Mom, look what I found.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So he's going towards those.
yep, you follow that smell and you follow this path, and it actually opens out into a clearing, uh, in which there is a massive field of poppies, just waist high. God damn, these things have been left to grow for a while. Um, but these flowers aren't the only thing in this field. You also see in sort of the middle distance, sort of in the middle of this field, a large, old, kind of dilapidated looking barn.
Hmm. Well, I'm presuming at first, um, it's fine to pick some of the flowers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Cool. So a good handful of those are getting shoved up his sleeve into hammer space because he did have that plan. He's following through with that. Uh, but there's a structure here,
There is.
and all of this plot. And well, there might be things inside there. And he could use some more things in his pockets.
Jubilee, my
So
beloved.
he's gonna keep sneaking on closer to that barn, keeping an ear out to see if he can't hear anybody there or just to see what is up and just how easy it might be to steal.
Well, um, looping around the barn, you see that on one side there is a very large pond, with a bunch of little ducks in it.
Aw,
Just there are many ducks and little fuzzy ducklings.
it's fine. He sees this, sees the ducks. It's like, oh, that's cute. Okay, nope, keep moving. Focus. Have to steal. He cannot get distracted. He is focused.
He is laser focused in on this.
Hmm. The ducks got him for a little bit. He's fine. It's more reason to steal.
Incredible.
Hmm.
He is laser focused in on his robbery.
Yeah. He is good at a few things in this world, and stealing is one of them.
Going around to the front of the barn, the front doors are closed, locked, and probably way too heavy to open. You have no idea what kind of cow or animal in general was being stored in here, but those doors are like 2 stories high.
Hmm. They're definitely locked. Like if he tried to just push on one and see if it opened, it's definitely locked.
Not only is it definitely locked, you push on it, you could push on it with your whole weight and it wouldn't fucking budge.
For the sake of it, he probably does try just to get the funny scene of him scrabbling to try and move this door just to see if it's really locked or if it's just heavy. There is no success.
No success.
Mm-mm. I'm not even gonna roll. His strength isn't stellar, but he puts in an effort.
This boy is a wet noodle, though.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
This boy is a wet paper bag, and we love him.
Let's see. Are there any windows that he could see, or maybe a way up towards the roof or someplace that could be easier accessed?
Do you want to go around to the other side of the barn?
Yeah. He's gonna keep walking around looking for a way in.
Okay. It's on like the far side of the barn from where you kind of entered this clearing. That
Hmm.
you actually find a very easy way in the form of a set of double doors, which are wide the fuck open.
He stops and blinks a few times and then looks around and just squints. That's easy. That's really easy. Wait, what? There are like just a moment, visible question marks appear above his head. And just a what, huh? He'll go forward and I'm just for the sake of it gonna roll investigation to see like checking for traps or anything because who leaves their doors open? Even if you're in the woods, something could get in there. That's an 18 on investigation.
There are absolutely no fucking traps. The closest thing to a trap you can see is instead of, well, sort of in addition to the normal hinges, there's kind of a pulley system uh,
Hmm.
that seems to be able to open and close the doors from somewhere further inside.
Hmm. All right,
Because these look like they might
yeah.
be a little too heavy to move otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, so he keeps note of that. The doors are open. This is, well, either he's very lucky or there's something weird waiting in there. But he is going to carefully creep inside
All right,
and get a look around the space.
roll me perception.
Let's see. That is an 8. Buddy, that's fair. He is a little paranoid about the space.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, with an 8,
Hmm.
it's big in here. That is your first impression, is that it is big.
Hmm.
It's warm. You also get that. It's very, like, warm and toasty. Like, it was a little chilly outside, but you pass over that threshold and, oh, it's cozy.
Hmm.
Um, it is cluttered, but it is organized. Um, you look around and there are shelves filled with all sorts of things, and Jubilee, you like shiny things, but there is a
Hmm.
lot of shiny things in here.
Yeah.
There are coils of metal on the shelves, there are blown glass vases and cups and plateware and whatnot. There are just bits of glass organized by color. It's a mess. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
honestly, that's probably why it's so low. It's not that he doesn't see anything, it's that he sees so much, it's hard to tell what the valuable pieces are because there's a lot.
Mm-hmm. There's also just like a bunch of random shit. Like, there doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be any rhyme or reason to it. It's just somebody picked up an object and decided this looks cool and put it on a shelf. So, like,
Mm.
you've got clocks, you've got teapots, you've got, a coffee maker, you've got,
Mm.
random old dolls. There's a couple sofas.
Oh my God.
You think one of those things might be a fucking stove? You don't even know how they got that in here.
Yeah. He just takes a minute looking around at all of this and just kind of like looks a little bit to the sky. Honestly, he could look anywhere. He's generally looking up and just like, Mom, what the fuck? Because he doesn't know if she has a hand in this. It's not the hour for anything, but her stuff was outside, the flowers associated. Things are weird with time here a little bit because what the hell was up with those trees? He's he doesn't know how close he is to HalloweenTown. He thinks he might be closer. He has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of just hoping to wind up there, but ugh. And now he's at this weird barn. There's a lot of stuff. What the? Well, he is gonna start. Metals, neat. Dolls, no, he's not gonna mess with that. But there's clocks. And he knows someone who owns an antique shop who he really likes to fuck with. And it would be really funny to have a random clock appear in that store.
Okay.
So he's gonna go over there, take a look over those, and he'll find how many are there in the collection? Just a lot.
A lot. Like,
Yeah.
you. It seems like if you're, like, looking at the shelves of different. You can only assume projects or collections.
Hmm.
If you can. If it's. It seems like there's a pattern that whoever this person is that owns this place, their two favorite things seem to be clocks and music boxes.
Mm. Yeah. He's gonna find eh, two or three clocks that look neat, look interesting enough. And that also he could, without having to rely on the rule of funny, feasibly, slip up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna put a grandfather clock up there.
Which
That would
there
be
are
too
a couple
obvious.
of them.
He thinks about it. He thinks about it. Not this time. Uh, he'll save that for a much funnier idea. Um, but there's music boxes as well. Oh, and that's tempting. He's gonna take another look around, just roll another perception, I guess, just to see, make sure that doesn't sound like anybody's coming or doesn't look like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nat 20.
That's a nat
Oh,
20.
buddy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So far as you can tell, it seems pretty empty in here. It doesn't sound like there's anybody around. I mean, you can hear the ducks quacking outside, but I don't think,
He's not worried about the ducks.
you know,
They're fine. They're cool. They're chill.
the ducks are chill. The
Yeah.
ducks are down for crime.
Yeah. Um,
The birds may work for the bourgeoisie, but the ducks are in on the criminal activity.
yep. Those are some crime ducks. He's cool with the crime ducks. But he's going to take a little bit and go over those music boxes and just try and find one just listening to a few of them. Because unfortunately, he is genuinely curious about those
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
easily distracted by all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll take a good few minutes just finding ones that aren't broken, winding them up and listening to them for a little bit, trying
Mm-hmm.
to find one that has a melody that he likes that will also be joining the clocks up his sleeve.
There are a
Mm.
good few. Um, hmm. Let me roll something.
Yeah.
What is the chance dice saying? 7. Okay, that means I get to do what I want. um,
Oh boy.
yeah, so you're looking through these music boxes, and Jubilee, I want you to do me a
Hmm.
favor and roll me a con or wisdom, your choice.
They are the same modifier. Oh boy. That is a 10. That's fitting. We'll roll with whiz. If
Okay,
it's a save, it's a whiz save. Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Jubilee, you pick up an item. You pick up one of these music boxes. And specifically, you pick up one that has a familiar sort of motif. You
Hmm.
remember the Golden Afternoon train, yes?
Oh, absolutely. He does.
Do you remember the sort of swirling pattern of gears that was carved into the sides?
Yeah. That that whole day is very hard for him to forget.
Mm hmm. That same pattern is engraved and painted onto this little music box that you pick up. Um, and as you pick it up, you recognize something about this barn that may have been part of why some of your early perception rolls were a little iffy. Because this place kind of immediately would have put you almost at ease. Because there is a very familiar sound and presence and energy. There is the sound of ticking clockwork, the sound of falling rain, the smell of poppies from outside, and the smell
Hmm.
of a storm on the horizon that all ring very similar to the feeling of being on memory lane.
Hmm. He holds that music box close because whoever the sucker that owns this place is, um, it's their loss. This is his now. He's not letting go of it. Um, it's weird. This is very weird because that's just Jubilee is not used to being at ease anywhere. He is someone who is very jumpy and flighty and has been on the run for the past 5 years and only recently settled down and had someplace that he could call safe.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment he realizes that, huh, this barn, even if he's been suspicious, because, well, who wouldn't be when you're going somewhere to steal things? Have to keep an eye out, but it's not that same kind of unease that has him jumping at shadows and ready to draw his sword at any moment and chase off someone who could catch him. It's just, even the fact that he got in, it doesn't seem like it's too good to be true. It's just like, oh, huh. And he's a bit conflicted as he stands there because, on one hand, it's nice to not be panicking in the middle of something like that and freaking out. But on the other hand, why is this like that? And he's kind of trying to puzzle that out because why is he comfortable? That shouldn't happen. Where did the anxiety go?
God damn it, Jubilee.
Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about him. He's fine. He's totally good. Uh, he does that and is, well, now I suppose he's got to roll an investigation to properly get digging because this is weird. This is no longer just, oh, I'm gonna steal because I want to fill my pockets. Now it's, I'm gonna steal because what is going on here? He is going looking for info on this. And that's a three. There's a lot of stuff here. He doesn't even know where to begin. So that's fitting. He's just going through everything he possibly can.
Yeah, you're going through everything around you, and you find like a lot of antiques, a lot of jewelry for some reason. Like whoever works here, they both work with antiques and seem to make original pieces of jewelry and glass. Because you find a
Hmm.
lot of those. Um, and with a three, the most I can tell you as you're kind of just looking through all this is those same motifs keep popping up of just interlocking and swirling gears, rainfall, stars, um, sort of a light bulb motif on some
Mhm.
pieces. Star- I already said stars.
Mhm.
And
There's lots of stars.
lots of stars and lots of poppies.
Hmm. Oh, that's weird. This is weird. This is really weird for him. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, okay, there's got to be something, but it's everything.
It's
And he's,
everything.
yeah,
You didn't even roll high enough to notice one of the tiny details that would give a bit of context as to who's here.
uh-uh. He doesn't know. He's having a time. This bird is having a time. He's like, I need to detective, and then realizes he doesn't know how to detective.
I need to detective. How do I detective?
How the fuck do I do that? Ugh. Hmm. Well, ugh. I think honestly, at some point as well, because that's only a three. Um, and bird brain. He is a bird. He is very much a bird. He gets distracted with the jewelry. Once again, finds something, just gets entirely distracted going through it because it's just like he's trying to piece together who is here, and there's a lot, but he can't find enough to figure out who it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Someone connected to memory lane in retrospect that he is getting from everything, but it doesn't make sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Roll me investigation one more time.
Oh, buddy, will you find something? There you
15.
go.
There, that's something. Yeah, okay.
That's a 15. That's a little better than a 3.
That's 5 times better than a 3. So, Jubilee, as you are looking around, and you said you got distracted by the jewelry, so you actually find your way to a sort of workbench where it seems
Mhm.
like some kind of jewelry project station. You know, there's a lot of
Mhm.
things sitting on it and around it that are just things you would use to make jewelry, or things that are jewelry in a partial state of creation or repair. Um, and you actually find a half finished piece that you kind of pick up and look over, and you find etched into the metal are two letters, MA.
Mm.
And you also notice a few black feathers around the workbench. Would you look at those?
Yeah, he would.
All right.
Uh, Especially because they're black feathers and he has a history with black birds.
Yeah, you have a
Crows.
history with
Like,
a specific kind of black bird, which is
yep.
why you recognize these feathers, but these are too big to come from any normal crow.
hmm
And
And there's a hot minute where he looks around and is like, oh, fuck, where's my dad? He knows someone who has crow feathers, but it's like, wait a second before he realizes, wait, no, that makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, you pick up one of these and it is very much a crow feather, but it's a crow feather for a crow the size of a small person.
hmm
And interestingly, there is a faint golden shimmer to it where it hits the light,
Hmm.
which is slightly similar to some of the magic that you have actually gotten from your Warlock Pact.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
is at that moment that there is a sort of quiet thump on the roof far above your head.
Oh boy. Uh, he has that moment where he's looking over this feather. That joins his other spoils up his sleeve, and then he freezes because oh shit. Someone is on the roof. He is going to look around for a spot to be out of sight because he knows one exit, which is the doors that didn't move, and then the other exit, which is those two doors, but it's very obvious. So it seems like there's only one way in and out, and he's not eager to run out the one he knows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh boy.
uh, hmm. Roll perception to see if you can find some place to hide. It's not a high DC. There is a lot of clutter in here. Okay, you make
Yeah.
that no problem.
Yeah.
You find like a place to hide, um, kind of like behind some clustered furniture.
Mhm. For the
Um,
sake of the gag as well, he's managed to probably flip between his normal 3D into 2D to be able to hide a little better.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you hear, footsteps across the roof, then a soft creak from somewhere overhead that sounds like doors opening.
Mm.
Um, you hear you hear a sigh and just okay. Got materials, check, and that was refreshing. Okay.
Oh,
What was I
motherfucker has
working on?
roof access.
Um, and you hear like steps coming down a set of stairs that you did not realize was here.
Yeah, it was probably buried under stuff that he just never saw.
It was hidden behind some shelves.
Yeah. He looked at the shelves, didn't see the stairs. There's just, oh boy.
Um, yeah, there's like the creak of those steps, um, and then footsteps across the hard packed dirt floor of this place.
Hmm. He is, while trying to stay hidden, gonna kind of peek around as best he can to get a view of whoever it was that just entered.
Okie dokie, roll me perception again.
Oh boy.
I like bullying the boy, I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine. He can perceive.
Oh,
Oh
honey.
boy.
Well, the first thing you catch sight of is a pair of black wings, with bright golden eyes. set into kind of the joint of it. Like, you know where the elbow point on a wing is?
Yeah.
There's a bright golden pair of eyes on those with a very familiar ringed white and gold pattern.
Hmm.
And then whoever these wings belong to kind of turns around and, continues walking, and you see a young man, vaguely young adultish looking in age, not really discernible,
Mhm.
with light blonde hair and green eyes and black feathers scattered across his face and behind his ears. And he's just kind of putting things on the shelf that he's pulling out of hammer space, um, with, again, a familiar motion of finger snap and something seems to burn into existence like a hole being burned in film.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, he doesn't. That's weird. There's so much sus going on there. Hmm. No, Bird Boy, you have conflicting things about this. This is a different save. This is not perception or anything. This is because he's an idiot. Of course he is. Oh,
oh my
so that was
god.
Wiz save because Jubilee Yukon is an idiot.
Uh-huh.
Um, and there are a few things that kind of hit on his nerves. Um, mainly some inferiority things. And well, he's decided he's going to be very, very, very petty. Oh, he's an idiot. Um,
Trippy.
he has immediately decided that he is going to steal more instead of just, leaving, trying to leave out the door. Because of course that's the smart thing to do. But he's petty. And he doesn't like this. And oh boy. Let's roll. If you roll low on this, I'm going to laugh at you about your stealth, buddy. That's an 18. Would our delightful person who owns this barn like to roll some perception?
Sure. That beats his passive perception of 17.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey. Unfortunately, perception is one thing Memoir does really well because he's an ace attorney character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Memoir. Hello, my darling. There's something moving in your stuff that's not usually there. There's someone here.
Yeah, there is
And
there is a moment of just like Memoir's just chilling. He's just putting aside some future projects that he just brought back from the junkyard. And then he like gets the sense of something moving and he jumps, and over his wings just spreads a pattern of more and more of these golden eyes, all of which are now trained on Jubilee. As
yeah.
Memoir spins around and snaps his fingers to summon his umbrella.
Oh boy. Yeah. Um, well, all those eyes are on him now. Juvie freezes dead in his tracks. Uh, oh boy. And he's stupid. Stops, uh, settles his wings behind himself and just, hello. It's kind of sheepish. Not a little sheepish, yeah. He got caught. That was quick.
Like Memoir's not even pointing the umbrella at Jubilee. I will note that. Like, he has the
Mhm.
umbrella in his hand, but it's not pointed at Jubilee. He's just staring at Jubilee a little dumbfounded, and he just blink, blink, head tilt, like very confused. Like the feathers behind his ears kind of tilt in a way that's just, very much the confused puppy stare. And he just,
Hmm.
uh, hello? Where did you come from?
Um, None of your business. And I will be getting out of here, shortly.
But how did you get in here?
The door was open. I did just, people do in fact walk in through open doors.
It,
That's a thing.
I mean, understandable. I was more referring to how did you get in? And he kind of gestures like wider with his hands, kind of gesturing to the
I
clearing
walked.
outside.
I walked. I have two very good legs right here that do carry me places. Quite convenient. I happened to, just be on a bit of a stroll and turned, followed path, and voila, here I am. And again, your door was open.
I mean, it's always open.
Well, that's foolish. Why would you do that?
Well, because people only show up here if they need me. And so. And he kind of.
Again, still ridiculous. Why did... Uh, he's just giving... Jubilee now looks equally confused. Like, what do you mean people just show up? Why do you leave your door open? People can walk in here and steal. What?
And Memoir kind of just blinks and shakes his head in confusion and then kind of sets his umbrella on the ground, leans on it, and says, let's start with introductions. Hello, I'm Memoir Alejo. How can I help you?
Uh, Yukon. Um, I was just taking a look around. I don't particularly need anything. Just curious.
Hmm.
You want to roll some insight, Memoir? I assume the Ace Attorney character is very good with insight.
He is. Boy, let's see. Where did I put it? That is a 25. Give me your secrets,
Yeah,
bird child.
he's lying. Um, he did just walk here. Um, but he was not just looking around, Memoir. You can probably figure out reasons why someone would just, walk into an open door with someplace with a lot of things, a lot of shiny, pretty things, and who may have reasonably not wanted to be seen.
Memoir puts this together, and I'm rolling a d2. Incredible. Memoir decides to play dumb.
Oh my God.
And he just kind of smiles and shakes his head and says, well, if you're here, you're welcome to stay. I've got tea, snacks.
I, what? I can't even think to roll deception. He wouldn't. He's so confused. That was
Surprise,
too easy.
motherfucker.
Yeah, no. He knows what he should do. What he should do is take the out. And he knows this. But he's also so confused because everything here together is painting a very weird picture. And he could just get away with stealing. It's too easy. This is where the 40 chess comes into play and causes problems. He is so confused by that offer, Memoir.
Memoir will just walk over to the kind of sitting area that's in one corner and start up the fireplace and put a kettle of water over the fire.
Do you just do this for people who just walk in here?
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't think that it might not be a good idea?
Don't see why it wouldn't be.
There aren't exactly the best people around who just, go wandering into someone's house, I'm presuming,
I
on
don't live
business,
here.
whatever this is. Well, whatever this is. Some place that you presumably own.
I didn't so much own it as I just found it.
Uh, my point still stands. That what I could be someone who came here wishing you ill will, and you just are making me tea.
I mean, if you were going to hurt me, you have a perfectly good sword right there. I'd assume you'd have done it already.
There is a very flat look directed at Memoir. Like, you have a point, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, I may not be that sort. However, how would you have known?
I wouldn't until you tried to attack me, in which case I would know. But you haven't tried to attack me, and therefore I don't. So I'm going to assume the best of you until proven wrong. I don't think you'll prove me wrong,
Oh,
though.
you're one of those sorts. Okay. All right. Oh, peck it, why not? What kind of tea do you have?
All sorts. And he kind of opens up the cabinet and says, my personal favorite is the apple masala chai, but I also have some Earl Grey, I have some mate, I have um, some of this stuff, which is supposed to taste like coffee, but I wouldn't know because I don't drink coffee because I'm allergic to it. Um, he
That
just,
one. I'll have that one.
all right then,
Why not?
good choice.
Yeah. And he's just behind him, his wings, which were a wee bit ruffled, just out of sheer what is going on, start to settle a bit as Juby wanders over towards Memoir to just. He's so confused.
Memoir is intentionally being confusing.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at that
And
when he wants to be.
yeah, he can tell that this guy is not expecting someone being polite at all and doesn't know what to do with that.
Memoir will just like casually check the box with the tea leaves inside and like look over at Jubilee and say, "Are you allergic to anything?"
Um, no, not that I'm aware of.
Excellent. So I don't have to worry about you going into anaphylactic shock. Some people are allergic
No.
to different things that people put in tea, and I'd hate to
Yeah.
accidentally poison someone. I've been poisoned. Not fun.
There's just a blink. Oh, wait, what?
Mem-
What?
Memoir just goes, and looks over.
You just casually mentioned that you've been poisoned? What?
Yeah, runs in the family.
What? He's just head in his hands. How many times is someone going just okay, sure. What just
What kind of cookies do you like?
uh there's literally just he can't help it. He can't hide it. He is very, 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 very toony. There is the loading thing that pops up by him that is just he's so confused. He's,
This is what it looks like when Memoir intentionally tries to fuck with someone.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. He had his whole plan. He has his act. You can tell this guy has an act, and this is the complete antithesis of what he is used to dealing with. It's just okay. All right, okay. Hmm. Okay. So one of two things is probably happening right now because this is utter nonsense. Either you're fucking with me, or you are completely unaware. And I would really like to think that no one is this entirely unaware. Just
Memoir, just blink, blink.
so, if you would kindly, just for the sake of things, I will probably, maybe, return some of the things if you just explain that you're genuinely just fucking with me and you're not really this entirely, oh, how do I put this nicely? Airheaded about someone who has broken into someplace. And I mean, I really didn't have a lot of time. I wasn't really trying to hide what I was doing. What in the world is going on here?
Oh boy. Let me roll the d2 again to see if he's going to keep this up.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps.
Oh my God.
And Memoir just kind of. He smiles, and there is something very familiar about that smile, and he just shakes his head and says, I don't see anything airheaded about being polite. Now, again, cookies?
He's so sus. He's actually going to roll insight. What is your insight right now? That's right, you got a little bit of a buff. It's a 21. Can he tell?
Let me try and roll deception.
Mm-hmm.
Doot, 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 doot. There we go. Haha, he can't tell.
Oh no.
Memoir has a 7 to deception, and he rolled a 19.
Oh boy. Well done, Memoir. He's just.
He is smiling in a way that is semi between Cheshire Cat smile and there is fucking nothing behind those eyes.
Mhm. Just. Yeah. Why? Why do I run into people like this? Why? Okay, yeah, sure. Whatever you grab, I suppose. I suppose. Yeah. Oh, stars.
Memoir
This
will
is.
pull a tin of snickerdoodles out from the cupboard.
Mhm. He just doesn't know what to do. He genuinely doesn't know what to do. He's absolutely baffled. Like, just looking at Memoir and then the space and then back to Memoir and just, oh boy. Oh, Juby, darling. Darling, why are you so confused by this?
Silly bird meets silly bird and they are and becomes confused.
Hmm. It's like you look in the mirror and it's like, who's that bird? Like, what? Who do? Huh? It's like, no, I'm supposed to be the bullshitter. What? Hold on. Like,
Memoir's job involves bluffing, motherfucker.
yeah. Juby has no clue.
Memoir, I'm a lawyer, bitch. I can do this all day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Memoir's a lawyer. Hey, you want to roll a quick history, by the way?
Sure. Why
Mm-hmm.
not? He's got a decent
Mm-hmm.
history. That's +3. That's a 19.
Yeah. Hey, Memoir, as well. That name he gave you could strike a bit of a chord because there's, a wee bit ago, there was a criminal who was quite prolific for a bit. That there's someone going by the name of Yukon,
Mm-hmm.
um, who had a bit of some incidents and is definitely known as a criminal. Had some wanted posters out for him for a lot of crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking and entering is definitely one of them.
Oh, Memoir is even more determined to bullshit now
Hmm.
because this is too fucking funny.
Yeah, this guy is completely confused. He's just, hmm. Oh, heck, sure. So why exactly do people come out here? That you apparently just are polite to and you don't worry about anything. And yeah.
Well, some of them are my friends. Um,
Mhm.
let's see. Mr. Gregory comes out here sometimes. So does Lynn. Um, so does Gibbs, of course. Um, and sometimes people come
Um,
out here because they need something fixed or they just need someplace safe to hang out.
hmm. There's a blink at the name Lynn and a squint, as in stagehand.
Oh, you know the investigator. How lovely.
And there's a very loud groan from Jubilee as his head is in his hands. Oh, now I get why I'm here. Uh,
Hmm?
Checking tracks. Mm, well, you know someone who knows someone who knows me. It's a trope at this point. Oh, stars.
Hmm.
I know I don't know the investigative detective, whoever she is. Herself, however, she knows someone very dear to me. Um,
Oh, that's lovely.
so
She is fond of connections.
yeah, I should certainly hope so. That would probably save me from whatever interrogation she might have planned. It's fine. Um, oh dear, you're. This is why, why here, why? And he's not entirely talking to Memoir at this point.
Memoir, in that case, will pour tea.
Hmm. Yeah, but it's role perception again,
Sure thing.
because Memoir can get an idea of who he might be talking to.
That's another 19. Jesus, Memoir, what are you on today? Memoir,
He perceive.
Memoir apparently did a really good job today.
Hmm. Yeah, it's he's not, but he's pulled out a pocket watch. That the sword is left at his hip. It's not even that, but Memoir, you hear the familiar sounds of someone messing, opening and closing a pocket watch, almost fidgeting in a way that you would think should not be done for a pocket watch. Uh, but he's kind of just talking aloud to the air as he fidgets with this a lot and is very frustrated. And I see that whiz check. Hello.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, hey Jubilee, how much attention are you
Hmm.
paying at the moment to
To
your
memoir?
gracious host?
Um, enough to keep him like in line of sight. Uh, because Juby's paranoid. He doesn't want to ever turn his back on someone he doesn't really know, even if there's connections there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's kind of keeping Memoir in line of sight, but not like focused on him.
Okay. Then, out of the corner of your eye, you catch a flash of something gold.
That is enough to stop him and make him look.
You see Memoir fiddling with a very familiar sort of chain.
he genuinely like skips a frame in his pacing before pointedly turning and looking like, wait, hold on. You,
Me?
you have one of these. That is that it?
Hmm?
Mother Pecker, you cannot play stupid with me on this.
On what?
A watch. Do you have the like this?
Is he, like,
And he
showing his?
yeah, it is in hand. He's not quite hiding it like he was before, not holding it so close, but yeah,
Memoir will tilt his head and reach into kind of his pocket and pull out a very similar golden watch.
there's a blink and just a oh, huh.
I'll admit I never expected to meet another Memory Lane Warlock.
I yeah, I can honestly say the same. I thought that's not a thing that you encounter.
Not commonly.
No, no, that's odd. Huh. You know, I'm normally very good with words, but right now I'm admittedly a bit thrown off. Very thrown off.
Memoir grins, and there is. Hey, Jubilee, roll history.
Hmm. Let's actually spell that right. For
Nope,
Bird Boy. No,
you don't get it.
he does
there's
not.
there's something about that smile that's familiar, but you just can't place it.
Mm-mm. There's something. It's just, yeah. But I will say as well, just knowing Memoir's passive, uh, he settles. There's definitely, Juby has been very, very, very tense since getting confused. The confusion was spiraling up into something.
Mm-hmm.
But it, funny enough, is at ease. Like he finally got an answer to, oh, one part of the puzzle of why this is all like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, well, now I feel bad that I was stealing from you. Oh,
Oh, is
well,
that what
shit.
you were doing?
Oh, you fucking knew. Don't even try.
Eh, I like having fun.
Hmm. As do I, but typically I don't enjoy people having fun at my expense.
Ah, but you enjoy having fun at the expense of other people.
Well, yes.
And it
That's
was
what
my
I.
workshop that was broken into.
You left your door open.
And that's an open invitation.
Yes.
Goodness.
I mean, it was too easy, honestly. You leave your door open and you have so many lovely things in here.
Why, thank
I
you. I
mean,
do
for
enjoy
one,
my projects.
yes. I do mean that as a bit of a compliment. I do enjoy the collection. Very, very nice. However, I enjoy it, which means other people who would come in here and potentially take things and who would not be as open to conversation would come in here and potentially, rifle through your things and take them.
What do I care? If the thing is getting a home that will enjoy it, what does it matter to me if it's not in my hands?
What? What? But it was. You're very perplexing. Are
Thank
you
you.
aware of that?
I've been
It's
told I
just
have some of my moments.
yes. I don't under
I
you just have this all and you don't care where it goes.
I really don't. I collect things because I enjoy fixing them. I don't necessarily need to have them. I give them away freely whenever I want. What does it matter to me if someone comes and takes a few?
But that, uh, well, I mean, I suppose that in that context, it, uh,
Memoir will just smile and take a sip of tea.
Judy is looking at Memoir like he is a puzzle. It's just, it's not the bewildered kind of confusion from before, but it's definitely someone who can't imagine that sort of thing, who you can definitely figure that this is a guy who, when he has something, it's his, and he doesn't let go of it.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, you've got Memoir who just he likes the things he has for the experience that he can get from them, and once he's done with them, he's fine with giving them away, genuinely. Like, if you
Hmm.
were to roll insight, he is not lying.
Yeah, I think Juby has a passive insight of 16. I think he can tell. And that's also why he's looking like this is a puzzle that he doesn't get, because how? How?
I'm a restorationist. Once something is fully restored, I move on to the next project. It wouldn't do the thing any good to just sit on a shelf forever, so if somebody needs it, if I think someone will like it, I give it away freely.
Huh. When you
After
put it
all,
like that, I suppose it makes sense.
after all, the whole point of restoring something is to give it another chance. What sort of chance is it to just sit in an empty barn all day?
Hmm. Mm, put it like that, yes, that does make sense. Oh, fine, okay, all right. So you have a point.
Thank you. It's very hard for some people to admit that, but I do that often.
I don't like admitting it, but I know when I'm beaten. As opposed to what people like to say, regardless. Is that tea said?
Hmm? Yes, cream of sugar?
Sugar.
And Mar will pass over a sugar bowl.
Uh, I will say Juby tries the tea first and then adds a lot of sugar.
It does taste bizarrely like coffee.
Hmm. It's interesting. He is intrigued by this. He notes this for later. Um, because he does, live in a house where technically coffee is quote unquote banned. That's fine.
Coffee is illegal.
Yeah, he will find his ways. He will have a lot of fun with this. Um, but this will be remembered and adds a lot of sugar almost without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just always does this. It didn't seem like he thought anything bad about the previous taste or like thought it needed it. It
Sometimes you
just
just
seems
like
like
your tea to taste like candy.
yeah, it seems fine. He's pulls a little bit of a face afterwards as he does like, oh shit, I did it again.
Bit of a sweet tooth?
Uh, More so just used to how I make it.
Mm.
It typically needs the sugar, but this doesn't. It's still fine. I'm not going to make you remake anything about it.
And Mar laughs and says, well, there's still some in the kettle if you want more.
I will. I will. Finish its cups first. And he sips at it and settles down and just. So, all of this, you just You fix all of it.
Pretty much. Well, some of it I just make from scratch, but I do try to use recycled materials in those cases, anyways. But yeah, no, most of it is restored. And he kind of taps the arm of the sofa that he's sitting on and says, I found this one in the junkyard. I had to replace almost all of the fabric, but I managed to find a good match for the old upholstery, so it worked pretty well.
Hmm. You don't happen to be hiding a fainting couch anywhere in here, are you? Just personal curiosity.
Oh, I think I've made at least one. And he kind of tilts his head and looks around and snaps his fingers and points over at one of the areas with the completed projects, and sure enough, there's a fainting couch there. Very Victorian in style.
Juby seems very amused by this. Like, oh, hmm. Okay, good to know. I won't be walking away with that. That will not fit in my hammer space. However, it is very good to know. This is so much fun.
They're certainly interesting to
Uh,
work on. The curvature is a unique challenge.
And I'm guessing the jewelry, that's not restored. You seem to have some things in progress. And again, I don't know much about restoring anything. Breaking, yes, but putting it back together, not so much.
Oh, breaking it is easy, putting it back together is the hard part.
Yeah.
Memoir smiles and says, most of the jewellery is original, though. Those, uh, those are a fun little passion project of mine. A hobby I picked up somewhere along the way.
Tilts his head.
Memoir shrugs.
So is that it was very tempting to want to have some of that. I'll admit. I have been caught, so I won't just take it. But I don't think I've honestly met anyone who makes jewelry.
Would you like
Is
me
there
to make
something
something for you?
I don't exactly have any gold on hand.
I wasn't going to ask for any.
What?
Did I ask if you had money?
No, but that's typically implied when you make a custom piece of anything for someone.
It's implied, but I'm not really interested in that. I make enough money as it is. I'm a lawyer, for Christ's sake.
Okay. Let's roll a quick con save. That's an 8. Nope. Juby does a spit take and chokes a little bit on his tea.
Memoir will wordlessly hand him a napkin.
It is accepted, and Juby kind of thumps his chest a few times as he stops coughing, like, what?
Criminal
You
defense lawyer.
what?
Criminal defense lawyer.
Uh-huh. Right. Uh, shit. Okay, yes, I did hear that right. Oh, huh. Mm-hmm.
Relax, I'm not a cop.
Oh, no. No, if you were, I am certain I would be having far worse of a time. Oh, why do... yep. Mm-hmm.
I specialize in murder.
Of course you do. It's in his hands.
Memoir's just grinning.
I know too many people who specialize in murder. Oh, stars. Why am I surrounded by this? I'm not a detective. I'm not. That's not my genre. It's not. It's not my genre in the least. I don't have any tropes associated with it. I am most certainly do not have any more death flags. Those
I
are
mean,
gone, dealt with. Fine.
the criminal informant is a classic role. someone on the inside, someone who knows the criminal industry, the underground of the world, a clever, likable rogue. Seems to
Oh,
fit.
motherfucker, that's why I was hired, isn't it? Well, shit. Ugh. He just. Oh boy.
Forgive me for making assumptions of your character, but rough exterior, heart of gold, much less evil than they think they are. This all ringing true?
Yes. 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 Well, yes. There's bits I might argue, but no. If it wasn't me agreeing to it, I'm certain one of my connections would argue quite liberally towards you being correct. Dolls, that's what I've fallen into, haven't I?
Memoir snickers.
Ugh. You live in a place with enough detectives, evidently it does catch up to you. Here I thought I would get to avoid all those tropes. Oh, lucky me.
There are worse tropes to fall into.
Oh, don't I know. I'd much rather have this nonsense than things. But I mean, you're one of the warlocks, you surely have to know that something. Whatever. Yes. He sips his tea pointedly, cutting himself off before he keeps rambling.
Hmm. I'm
Either
going
way.
to actually have you roll insight.
Sure. Juby, my dear.
That's enough.
That is it. Yeah.
That's 11. That's enough. Um,
Mhm.
there's a bit of a look of confusion on Memoir's face because he doesn't quite understand what you mean.
Yeah. And Juby's thinking and remembering some things and kind of realizing, oh, right. He kind of flicks a wing in a very clearly, like, don't mind me, I was rambling kind of gesture. It's, oh, buddy, because of course you know that. We're just going to preemptively roll that. You are bad right now, but that's fine. That was a deception roll, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was that, D2?
Memoir will kind of tilt his head and say, "Wait, you weren't. I don't. I hesitate to say the term born into a pact, but I mean that's basically what happened with me. I just showed up. I've always been a warlock of Memory Lane.
Hmm. Um, to put it simply, no. To put it less simply, well, you're a lawyer. I'm certain you know the kind of person I was.
The name rings a bell, certainly.
I, I was given a second chance. I,
By who?
by my patron, I, well, it's a long and complicated, long story short, I have this, uh, because I had royally fucked up. And someone decided that my story was not going to end how it had.
Hmm.
So,
If fucking up made everything over, that would be very dissatisfying.
well, I mean, depending on someone's interpretations of the stories, it's typically the villain being defeated in a rather poetic way is a good end to a story.
You don't
Unless,
seem
of
like a
course, you don't.
villain to me.
It's been a fair bit of work to not be like that anymore. Believe me, I would have been quite insufferable had we met several months ago. I don't think we'd be casually having tea and talking.
Hmm. Memoir kind of shrugs and says, well, you wouldn't be here in the first place.
Eh, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, no,
Or
you
maybe there's
definitely wouldn't have. And
hmm?
Memoir kind of smiles and says, how do you think I knew you weren't going to hurt me?
The fact that I am an idiot who chooses to talk over making the smart decision of leaving when I get caught stealing from someone.
Memoir snorts and shakes his head and says, this clearing doesn't allow anyone in it that would hurt its inhabitants. To get here, you have to either be trustworthy and need this place, or have been already shown the way.
Those ribbons on the path,
Mm-hmm.
that's not just there. That's this is there some enchantment or something I don't know, something to it that
Something like
just
that.
well, well shit. Hmm, that's handy.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that yes, that and that would explain why you feel comfortable just leaving your doors open.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who comes here when I'm not around, well, I assume they're just here to hang out or find something shiny that they like or, I don't know, take a nap. It's a good place to rest.
Mm, I well, shiny things are certainly in abundance.
What can I say? And he kind of ruffles his feathers a bit in sort of, I am a crow after all.
There is a snort from Juby, but he doesn't quite manage to stop. But it is he's very aware. He knows what crows are like. Okay, I need to ask though, with the whole can you see out of those eyes on your wings?
These? Not really. And he kind of um runs his fingers through his feathers. And by the way, like once he got you talking,
Mm-hmm.
those eyes that had popped up when he was startled closed and went away. So now it's back to just the two main ones.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of shrugs and says, they're more of just a reaction.
Hmm. Damn, that would have been far more cool if that's how I got caught. Well,
What, by me having eyes on the back of my back?
a little bit, yes, that would be very cool.
Terribly sorry to disappoint.
Ugh. Yeah, so no, my ego's still bruised. I'm normally very good at being quiet and not going unseen.
If it
It'd
makes
make
you.
far more sense if someone had masses of eyes. Ugh.
Goodness. Uh, if it makes you feel any better, it is literally part of my job.
No, no, it doesn't. I'll get over it.
And where Will
Being stealthy is
actually
supposed to be
snorted that.
part of mine. Yeah. UV size, and it is clearly meant for the dramatics of it. Like, oh yeah, laugh it up. Yes, fair, fair. That's interesting, though. I'll admit I haven't been around. I've seen other bird tunes. I just haven't seen anyone with wings like that. It is interesting.
I've had them
So,
since I showed up.
mm, would make sense. And you can fly with them. Otherwise, you're very good at jumping from the trees to the roof.
No, no, I can fly.
Is it nice? Sorry, that that slipped out. I that wasn't thinking. I sorry. That's a odd
It's
question.
it's very nice. Do you not know how yet?
He takes a very long sip of his tea and tucks his wings around himself, not looking at Memoir.
It's okay. I didn't learn to fly until a couple months ago.
I don't think I can.
Why not?
I mean, I did well. I did think I should be. Maybe I just might be a bit late on the learning side.
Don't see why you would be. Might take a
Well,
might take a little while to build up the right muscles, but you can learn anything given enough time.
mm,
I will warn, the first couple
mm.
times I tried, I slammed face first into the dirt, so maybe get some pillows handy. And some ice packs. Lots of ice packs.
Oh, yeah, I have no doubt that I will have someone present who can, if not heal, then uh assist with soothing my bruised face and ego. I have no doubt I'm going to fall on my face quite a few times. That typically is how it goes when I try something.
Memoir just kind of laughs and says, eh, as long as you do it in a safe place, there's nothing wrong with failing.
There's a blink and a look, and it's like, right, yeah, right.
I mean, come on, would you expect someone who'd never picked up a paintbrush before to be able to paint a masterpiece?
Uh, well, I mean, no, that
Okay.
no.
Would you expect someone who'd never held a screwdriver to be able to fix a car?
Stars no.
Would you expect someone who'd never done much more than a sedentary walk to suddenly be able to run a marathon?
No, and I understand what you're getting at.
So there's nothing wrong with falling on your face. And quite frankly, it's a funny story to tell later. The first time I tried to fly, I ran off of the roof of this barn and slammed into the dirt so hard I nearly broke my nose.
I need to roll really quick because he is being polite. He is being polite. He
Memoir
is
just
trying there.
Memoir
Memoir
just
can roll perception if he would like.
would it be insight or perception?
No, this
It's
is
the
a
same
case of
modifier.
perception.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's a 24.
Yeah, you can see that it's obvious that he's amused by this, but you can see as well he is trying very hard to hide the fact that he is laughing.
You can laugh. It's funny.
Sorry, sorry.
Don't be.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's a funny story to tell later.
Oh, stars, I sorry that yes, it just a bit, just a bit.
I'm pretty sure there's still a me-shaped dent in some of the flowers outside.
Oh no. Oh heavens, why wouldn't you try and aim at least for the pond? That would catch you falling a little bit if you couldn't even glide.
But then the
Softer
duck
landing than the dirt.
but then the ducks would be sad because I splashed them all out of the water.
Oh, ducks can handle it.
But they're so cute and fuzzy, I don't want to make them sad.
Oh, they are, but if they get mad, they can bite.
Well,
I would know.
yes.
I've had to handle a duck.
Well, yes, but the point is to not make them mad.
Yes, then you say to the ducks, "Hey, I need you out of the pond for a little bit. I'm going to try flying and I don't want to splash you." And typically, they're quite nice when you ask.
Memoir just shrugs.
Did you not think to just talk at them?
I don't think they
Given,
understand common.
well, they're honestly, birds are a fair bit smarter than you'd think, especially considering that, well, you have wings. I would think you would understand. Little bit. I mean, it's that they can understand a bit, at least intent. I think so. We are in Einquell.
This is
You're
true.
earnest enough about it.
This is true. Maybe next time I'll try. Although I don't really need to do that anymore since I've picked up a bad habit of just jumping off the roof whenever or my head gets too loud.
Oh, that would be quite convenient. Go for a fly whenever things get loud. Just go up in there. That would be nice.
It's refreshing. Tell you what, if you ever figure it out, or if you ever want to learn, I'd be happy to teach you, and once you've got it figured out, I know a couple places that work as excellent natural obstacle courses if you want to just turn your brain off and run through something that's hard to fly through for a while.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be so very fun. Oh, I'll admit it's probably would be a bit better than just catching a ride on top of a train.
Oh, you've actually
Oh, s-
managed to do that? I've wanted to try for ages, but I can never catch the train that's running through here.
oh, well, I didn't quite get the one that went along the tracks I was following, but a few others. Usually good when you know, hitch a ride on one, stare away, however you want to just phrase it. Works quite a bit better. Very cheap to get around, much better than those teleportation things.
I wouldn't know in either
Less likely
direction. I mostly just use transition walking to get places.
to Wahoo now.
You know, transition walk. When you and he kind of just stands up, takes a step to the left, and suddenly he's behind you. Like that.
Mm, I don't think I can do that. Ugh. Like his feathers immediately ruffle with that, and it's like, don't, no, ugh. Oh, screen transitions, that sort of, no, I am not used to that. uh, Went quite a bit just blending into the background. Not not used to that sort of thing. Did it once and got very motion sick.
Ooh. Yeah, it's not for everyone.
No, and I would hate to throw up all over these nice couches. You put so much work into
Much appreciated.
them. Yeah, no, it's and I do particularly enjoy the journey a bit more.
That's fair. I mostly use what my modes of transportation because they're convenient. I'll admit I've never really done much traveling on my own.
No,
Nope.
why not? Well, yeah, lawyer thing, probably busy with that.
Something like
Why
that.
not? You can go anywhere. You can fly. Why not just go somewhere?
Well, where would I go? He kind of shrugs and sets his hands on his hips and looks at the ceiling and says, I mean, I like HalloweenTown. I showed up here. I've been here for as long as I've existed, as little as that's been. And I like Fraymore, which is where I work with my dad. But I haven't really been elsewhere. Well, except for one situation, but that was not exactly voluntary.
Lot shit.
Plot shit.
Yes. Oh,
A fucking men.
Yeah. No, well, outside of that, why not just it doesn't really matter where you go, just go somewhere.
Well,
Just go out for flying with no destination in mind and just see where you go. You can always come back. You can always find your way back home, but that's part of, well, at least I enjoy going on trains just for the sake of going. Doesn't matter where it stops, I'll find my way back home, but just staying there and seeing the world, traveling and all that, being somewhere where you're not, I don't know. It's how to explain it. It's not like I don't want to be at home. I do enjoy it. It's nice. I do have quite the rambunctious family to keep a hold of.
oh, you
Eh,
too?
start to know. Hmm?
Oh, you too?
Oh, yes. I am the eldest sibling, and
Oh,
oh, stars.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that position. I send you best of wishes.
Yeah. All of my younger brothers are quite involved with plot, so someone needs to keep their head. But, I mean, it's not like I don't want to be around them. I've just spent quite a long time being stuck somewhere. And once I got out, and it wasn't just other factors, quite nice to just have the freedom to go just because you can.
Memoir nods and kind of fiddles with sort of the sort of the edge of one of the ball joints in his wrist and kind of
Mhm.
shrugs and says, "I suppose I could see that, but I don't know. Some days even just not being around people makes me feel less real than I already feel. I feel like if I just went places to go places, I'd lose what connection to this reality I already had." And he kind of makes a gesture. Whoosh. Vanish into the ether.
That's quite a thing to say.
Is it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. This maybe. I'll admit I'm a bit of a plot magnet myself. So perhaps it's that whole thing, having once been not a background character, villains you can't exactly call background, but they are themselves, and now whatever heck I can say I am. It's I've never understood that kind of thing. You could just fade. If you're in the background, you're still yourself. You're still there. You still have a story all your own. Every experience that you've had in the past doesn't just stop because no one's there to see you.
Hmm, I don't know. Maybe that's something that people who actually have had a lot of time get to understand. He kind of shrugs and shakes his head. I've only been here for, gosh, less than 2 years now.
There's a minute because he was about to be like, "Did you just call me old?" And it's just, but then he stops and he's like, "Wait, just 2 years? Just
Mm-hmm.
2 years?
Less.
Oh, huh. Well, that does change things a bit. I would admit that would change it a bit. Hmm. You know, yeah, that is quite the conundrum. Hmm. I mean, I still wouldn't wish that upon anyone to just poof into nothing. That's quite a terrible end to a story.
Tell me
But
about it. And he kind of laughs and says, I've had nightmares about that sort of thing.
I can imagine so. That would be awful.
Just wake up one day and you don't exist and no one remembers who you were. That would be awful.
Yeah, yeah, stars. I can't imagine that happening to anyone. That would be, well, maybe a curse or something from some cruel god. But, ugh, yikes. Yikes. Whatever the heck kind of dreams you have, that's, I pity that. That's awful. Mine are at least a little more tangible than that. Ugh, I would not want to trade with you.
Well, if you traded with me, maybe you'd get the fact that I'm used to it.
Oh, as am I with the terrible dreams, but we all get used to different things. Doesn't make it any less terrible.
True. Memoir kind of laughs and smiles and says, Sorry for the daily dose of existential horror.
No, honestly, at this point I'm a bit expecting it. At least I didn't cause a crisis this time.
If it makes you feel any.
I'm one away from it being a trope. I am.
Well, no risk of that here. I am very hard to crisisify.
Good, we're not going to test it. I could say something, but knock on wood. And he looks around, finds some wood, and does in fact knock on it, like just in case. Just in case.
Memoir will knock on the table.
Yeah. Like I don't we're not going to tempt it because with everything around here there is I don't want to tempt the plot because it likes to come for my arse whenever I think it's funny. And I'd be like, no, it's not going to happen, and then it does.
Well, there's your first mistake. If you say something's not going to happen, that is going to be the next thing to immediately happen. That's like Comedy 101.
Well, yes, I'm aware, but sometimes it likes to prove me wrong because it's enough where I think, oh, yes, it's a pattern and I will develop it. And it's going to happen this time, and then it doesn't. Because even if I say, no, it's not going to happen, and then I expect it to, it might happen or it might not. It's a bit of a roulette. It knows I'm aware, at least a little.
Goodness, genre savviness like that must be something of a curse.
Oh, don't get me started.
And Mark will kind of shrug and say, Well, if you want to bitch about it. I find that
Perhaps,
does help with certain problems.
yeah, perhaps not over tea. Certainly not the first time. You can hear my rants about the plot another. Apologies, I just inviting myself over. That's a bit rude.
Not at all. Doors open.
There's a pause. And oh, huh. You'd be realizing, wait, did I make a friend? Like, oh, yeah, you do have a point. Another time then.
I look forward to hearing it. Perhaps we can compare notes.
Yeah, eventually, and probably no crisis. Probably.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood. Salt
Well,
over your
that.
shoulder and all that, and a bag of cheese.
Where does the bag of cheese come in?
I have no idea.
Hmm. Keep that in mind. Hopefully the menaces don't decide to eat it at 3 a.m. Believe me, there's nothing scarier than waking up thinking you're going to just, go get a snack, and then the gremlins are eating the cheese at 3 a.m.
Ah, yes, the fabled 3 a.m. cheese.
It's real. It's real. You live with teenage boys and it's real.
Brother, they crave cheddar.
They do. It's not them, it's the dog that's trying to get into it. Oh, the dog is the one that's hard to say no to.
Memoir is just laughing at this point.
Juby's quite amused with this. He went on with it just a bit. It's like, okay, it's funny, we gotta drag the bit out. Quite pleased with himself.
Memoir is just laughing.
Ugh. Well, at this point, I don't think I'm going to have enough time before said menaces actually wonder what the heck I'm doing, and my excuse of going for a walk. It's a it's running a bit long.
Mm.
I'll find that train some other time. Oh well.
Which train in particular were you looking for?
Um, Supposedly there's one that's under HalloweenTown.
Hmm. Never
I
heard
mean,
of
it's
such a thing, but I can ask the mayor about it if you like.
would you?
Sure?
Yes, I do. I mean, I've never been to HalloweenTown. Admittedly, I've heard a few things, and
It's a lovely place.
yes, well, well, problem is I don't know if it would like me, or at least agree with me.
She can be a bit finicky.
Yeah, typically, I mean, you have your ghosts and sort. Uh, Not quite. Well, I mean, I'd fit in right there with that. But either way, uh, point is trying to go, looking for something that I think you're not supposed to find would not be welcomed in a town that knows it might be trying to hide something.
Mmm. Yes, because the town knows that you know that the town knows that you
Yes.
know that you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah. It makes sense. Don't give me that look. It makes sense.
Memoiry's just grinning. And hey, do you mind rolling that history check one more time?
Hmm.
5.
5. No.
You'll figure that out another day.
Yep. Not today, but eventually. Juby sets down his tea, which is now empty, and stands and stretches, stretching his wings all the way up as he does.
That's the fun thing about this building. It's so big that there's actually fucking space.
He actually can, and he does enjoy the novelty of it. It's like, well, if you would put that inquiry in, I would appreciate it.
Of course.
And another time, we'll see if I make it there. Probably going to cause some chaos. You will probably hear about it, let's be honest. I enjoy making a big impression, I should say.
All for the dramatics.
Oh, don't you know it?
Memoir laughs. This is well then. See you around.
Adieu. And he will find his way out after giving quite the theatrical bow.
Memoir will just do the 2-finger salute in dismissal or
Hmm.
goodbye.
Yeah. Uh, and with that, I do believe we can wrap this up.
Yep.
As Juby heads out and finds his way back, probably getting called on his plot device of, "Hey, where are you?
Jubilee, where the fuck are you?
Where did you go? It's been hours. This is not a walk. Dude, what are you doing?"
He made a friend.
He did.
Ah.
Thank you so much for playing with me. It's so nice that we got to have them meet.
Thank you so much for playing with me, and ditto. All right, let's say goodbye to our audience. Goodbye, audience.
Goodbye.